Howdy, folks, and welcome to episode 15 of Derpcraft. Thank you so much for coming along. I do appreciate it. Sorry I was out for a couple of days. I had real-life things to deal with, like things with the apartment and various other stuff going on, so I had to take a couple of days off from making content, but I'm back. I should be doing, once again, my 3 to 5 days a week of content this week, so appreciate having you here. Really glad to have you. Hope you've had a fantastic week. Today we're doing something a little bit different than we have before. We're actually going to be building something that I've been thinking about a lot recently. So this is going to be a little bit different kind of episode. This is going to be a very build-heavy episode, probably a little bit shorter than others. But it's something that I've been wanting to build on the server, just in general, that we needed a bookstore. So I decided I was going to build a bookstore. But I then remembered an old place that I wanted to build because it doesn't exist anymore. So we're kind of building nostalgia and building history today. So it's a place where I grew up. I really hope you like it as much as I enjoyed building it. So let's get started on this build and we'll go from there. We're actually going to be doing something that I've been meaning to do and wanting to do for a while now. And we're going to basically be taking a little trip. What is that? What? Okay, so the chickens are invading my life. I don't understand. just why? You know what? I blame Grian for this one. Anyway, giant chicken notwithstanding. We're going to be doing something that I've been wanting to do, and that's going to be, we're going to be taking a little trip down Nostalgia Road. So I have a bunch, and I mean a bunch, of enchanted books, and I've been meaning to open some sort of bookstore. And I was thinking, you know, I could do like a 2-story bookstore. I could do, someone is buying all my cocoa beans. River's buying all, what? River buying all my cocoa beans? That's weird. Anyway, so we're going to take a little trip down Nostalgia Lane by building this bookstore because there's a lot of different designs that I could use. I could build, like the classic, the 2-story bookstores like you find in the UK. There's one in Edinburgh that we found that was amazing. That was like a 6-story bookstore that I thought I could duplicate. But I was thinking, well, okay, that'd be good, but that's not the greatest thing I could do. But then I remembered something that I enjoyed from my childhood that I completely and utterly had forgotten about until I started thinking about bookstores. And that is this. This is the Haunted Bookstore that was in Tucson, Arizona. It was in a place called Tohonachul Park. And the story of this place is actually very interesting. The entire park was bought by one person back in 1937. It was actually owned by somebody by the name of Maurice Reed, who was a realtor, and a bunch of stuff's going to be named after him in Tucson after he dies. But it was actually sold out to one person in 1937, and then a Santa Fe style house was actually built on the property, which became sort of the museum's exhibit house in the future. In 1966, Richard and Jean Wilson actually started buying up and piecing together pieces of the land that would become this Tohonachul Park, which is sort of almost like a nature preserve. Wilson's actually lived in there for the next 8 years and had a whole bunch of people just coming knocking down their door trying to buy all the property out from under them. And then pretty much they said, no, we're not selling this land. We don't want it paved over and turned into a grocery store or anything like that. We want to preserve this area. When Pima County actually condemned a strip of the southern boundary of the property in order to widen Ina Road, which is one of the big roads in northern Tucson, the Wilsons demanded that they move every saguaro and replant it on the adjacent property. So saguaros are cacti, by the way. There's only one area in the entire world that saguaros grow, and that is in the Sonoran Desert, which is in Pima County, Tucson, Arizona, up as far north as Phoenix, and then down as far south as, I believe, Chihuahua, I want to say, into southern Mexico. Something like that. I think that's that area, but they're very rare cacti that only grow in that particular area. About that same time that they were actually turning all this into a park, they decided to take one of the buildings and turn it into a bookshop that they named the Haunted Bookstore. And it was the single coolest bookstore ever. I mean, it was an amazing. It was, you know, it was a standard kind of bookstore. You walk in, there's, you know, they've got the used book section, they've got all the different sections. It was 2 stories. So you had a little upstairs area. I had the ground floor area, but then you had the children's books area. And this is, remember, I'm 5, 6, 7 years old at this point, because the bookstore opened in 1979 and it closed in 1997, unfortunately, because, you know, like a lot of small bookstores did in the late 90s, when places like Borders and Hastings and Barnes & Noble were making it big and putting everyone out of business. But, you know, you're 5 or 6 years old. There's this cool little area in the children's books section where they had this little cubby that you could climb down in, and it was underneath everything. And there were pillows down there, and it was dark, and it smelled like old books, and you could take your book down there and just read it. And it was fantastic. It was so cool. It was such a cool idea. So we're going to rebuild this particular haunted bookstore out in the desert area that's right next to my base. I don't know how we're going to do it yet, because the thing is, there's not a whole lot of pictures of it that survive. So I have to do a lot of this from memory, unfortunately. And I don't know how that's going to go, because the only thing I really remember about the place is I remember walking in. I remember the outside, how it looked with the adobe sort of hacienda style house. I remember the downstairs area where the kids could go in and do all of that, but the rest of it is really, really foggy. Like, literally, all I remember is the entryway, the outside facade, the entryway, part of the main area, part of the upstairs area, and the kids area. That's all I remember. So we're going to start rebuilding that. I don't know if we're going to finish this episode, because there's some other things I want to do too. But let's go pick out our blocks for this particular build, and we will get started with that. So I think we've got our materials to at least start with, based on the pictures in my memory. So we've got some cut sandstone, we've got some regular sandstone, we have some light gray terracotta, regular terracotta, yellow, and white. And the yellow and white we're going to be using for accents on things. The regular terracotta and the light gray are going to be a lot of the flooring outside. And then inside, we're going to be using different things for flooring and lighting in there. So we also have some oak fence, since this is supposed to be a hacienda. If you've ever seen pictures of haciendas, you know, they're basically built, it's weird. So they're basically built with a wooden frame that they then cover with this adobe material, which is really baked clay. So they take this adobe, this mud, and pack it around the frame, and then just wait for the 120-degree weather to do its job and basically bake it to death. And huzzah, you have walls and sometimes even a roof for your particular dwelling. So that's how you make these haciendas. So it's really, there's not going to be much wood involved in the construction, except for some fence gates here and there. I did choose dark oak doors, because the doors for these haciendas are usually massive, and they're usually made from local materials like mesquite, but we don't have that option. We have dark oak. That's the closest we can get. Some signs to make little verandas, and then some brown wool and white wool. So the brown wool is what's going to be used to build the little hidey hole that you'd go take your books in when you were a kid. And then the white wool I'm taking with me just for place holding, really. And we also need to get some planks, and then I think we're ready to start our build. Alright, I think we have our area that we're going to be putting this in. So this is going to be the eastern edge of everything. So if you go out here, we've got basically, up to the chicken anyway, we've got about that much room for the bookstore and a part of the park. I'm not going to be rebuilding the whole park, because the whole park's, 80 acres. That'd be a lot of area. And I'd be infringing on, Cutlet's Temple and a few other things. But we are going to do the main building, so we've got to sort of even all this out. We've got to cover it in cactus, because, we kind of have to do that. And then we are going to build our building, and then we're going to build part of the park around it. And like I said, I'm not sure how much of this I remember. I guess we're going to find out. Oh, look, a spider. I guess we're going to find out how much of this I actually remember as I'm building it here. So let's get to landscaping. Okay, we have our area cleared off. We have all of our stuff ready to go over here. I can go back a little further over that way, and I could expand out if I needed to, but I think this is going to be enough room, because the bookstore, I'm thinking, let me grab some blocks and we can sort of rough out an area here. There's my wall. There it is. So I'm thinking the bookstore proper is going to go from about here to here. Yeah, about like that, I think. Looks about right. So that's the bookstore, and then over here we're going to have a little park that's going to sort of kind of look like the Haunted Park. I'm not, like I said, I don't remember a lot of this. So I remember the bookstore. So the entrance to the bookstore is actually going to be on this side over here. And it's going to be there's a little covered pathway that goes up here. And then the bookstore itself is probably going to be from about there to there, give or take. And it's going to be, like I said, there's going to be a small second story. There's going to be the first story, and then over here-ish, there's going to be the little underground area where all the kids went to read their books. So, because that's what I remember is you would have the parking lot would be over here, right? You would walk through on the little pathway up this way, and I think it went around both ways. So you had a path here and a path here. You'd come in the main doors. There's the reception desk and the checkout desk right here, and then you've got bookcases, 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 and then the children's area was over here. But then you could go up this little staircase to a second level where there were like reference materials, if I remember correctly. That sounds right anyway, from my very dim recollection. Remember that this place opened in 1979, so I was 4. It closed in 1997 when I was 22, but I had moved from Tucson in 1993. So I went to the Haunted Bookstore a lot when I was a kid, but I was between the ages of like 5 and 12 most of the times that I went. That sounds right. Because, you know, you get to be... It was great for kids, but... And I read a lot. Before I discovered video games, I discovered books. And I've always loved books, and I love reading, and any excuse to get into a bookstore, I'm perfectly okay with. I love the smell of old used books. I love going to the bookstore, picking up something new. I try and pick up, regardless of finances, regardless of what I have going on in my life, I try to pick up at least one new book a month now, just because. Because that's me. I either go to a used bookstore and pick up a book, or I'll go to like the Barnes & Noble and pick up a book. I very rarely read books online. I want actual, real, physical books in my hand. So books and I have a long love affair. It was my first love, and I've never lost it. So, but having said that, these memories that I have are 30 years old at best. So I don't know exactly what the layout looked like, unfortunately. I wish I had a floor plan, but there's none that I can find online. If I could find like a blueprint or a floor plan, that'd be perfect. But unfortunately, I don't have that at my disposal. So I'm having to go off of 30-year-old memories to try and rebuild this place, which is suboptimal. But so let's get started on actually building it, and we can go from there once we've got sort of a layout ready to go. And there is our first floor from my admittedly hazy memory. So we have our... Oh, I probably should eat something before I starve to death. So we have our little pathway. So out here is where we're going to put the small version of the park. But we have our little pathway that we've done out of just basic terracotta and some light gray terracotta. And then the building itself, I wasn't sure if I wanted to do it in terracotta or do it in sandstone, but I like the sandstone better because I like the ability to mix in regular and cut sandstone to give it that sort of weathered appearance. So you come around here into the doors, which I did replace with spruce because the dark oak just didn't look right. So then you come in here, and there's going to be the main reception desk is going to be here, and then the kids area is going to be over here with the little hidey hole thingy that we're going to put in this area back here. And we should probably light this up for the time being, though, just to make sure that we don't have a incidental monster spawner. So we're going to go one higher with the wall here, And then the roof is going to go over here, but over in this area, there's going to be the staircase. It's going to go up to the second floor, which is going to be on this side. But it's not going to be the full thing. It's going to be sort of a little area up here. So that's where we'll put, I guess, like really rare enchanted books. So we'll put the rare enchanted books up here. We'll put regular enchanted books down here. And then we'll put just regular books as well, since I have those left over. And then in the children's area, maybe we'll put like some fun enchanted books, like the starter enchant. So that's what we can do. We can put the starter enchant books over here in the children's book area. We can put the regular enchanted books over here. We can put just normal books there. And then upstairs we can put rare books. So that should be fun. All right. I think we've got a plan now. So let's go ahead and finish off this first level and then start on our second level. And then we can start doing detailing for the outside and putting more... Really? Yeah, you didn't want any of that. And then we can start putting our books in and put in all of our various different, odds and ends that we want to sort of make this a cool looking build. And then we can start on the actual park itself over in this area. This is a lot harder than I thought it would be originally. Not because... what are we looking at here? Sandstone, cut sandstone. Okay, cool. Not because, this is necessarily a difficult build. It's just my memory is at war with myself because I swear, like, I'll get one section done and then my memory is like, no, that's not how it went. And then I go, yes, it is. No, it's not. Yes, it is. No, it's not. Oh, my goodness. It's hard to reconcile memory and what I'm building here into a single, like, unified vision. And I think what I'm going to do for the second floor is I'm actually going to make a glass ceiling. I don't remember that being in the original build, but it should have been. So that's how I'm justifying it, is that it originally should have had glass in the ceiling. So I'm going to make glass in the ceiling. Don't care if it was there or not. I actually put the call out on Twitter. I'm like, hey, anyone remember this place? Because I'm having problems. I'm having trouble remembering how this went. So help. And I'm also out of sandstone. We can fix that. And our box on a box is done. I know it kind of looks a little weird right now, but we are going to add some details as far as like logs on the top. We're going to add some more details on the building here, and we are also going to build sort of a little patio roof that's going to come out from here as well. So there will be some more detail for this. It's not just going to be a box on a box, but that is the base for our particular... How many did I go up for that? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, it just looks... That looks kind of weird, but... yeah, alright, so we've got the base there, so we're going to put out a patio. We're going to put some logs up there to simulate the logs that were used in the creation of the structure. And then once we've got that, I think we're ready to start doing the interior. So let's go get some logs, because of course I forgot those. And we'll be back in a moment. You dare sully my bookstore with your presence! Now I'm on fire. I'm on fire. I'm on fire. I'm on fire. Nope. And there is the skeleton of our interior done. So we've got our brown carpet on the floor, because I remember there being brown carpet. We've got... I need to put some trapdoors or something around this, but we do have a small spiral staircase over here that we'll be doing trapdoors and probably fence on to make it look like a spiral staircase, or maybe iron bars. We could try that. And up here we've got our rare book section with our yellow stained glass, and we're going to put more brown carpet up here as well. However, I am out of cocoa beans, and since I'm out of cocoa beans, I need to make a run to a jungle biome real quick to get more cocoa beans, because my cocoa bean store is basically for me. It was not meant for industrial brown wool production, unfortunately. So, yeah, we're going to have to do something about that. So we're going to drop off all of this stuff here. And we're going to go get some more cocoa beans so we can make some more brown wool. Oop, let's drop that off, drop that off. I don't need this rotten flesh on me. Thank you very much. So yeah, so we need to go grab some more cocoa beans from the travel agent and then come back, make some more brown wool, some more wool carpet. And of course we're going to pick up some of this carpet to do certain things like the underground area and all that for the children's section. But we do need more brown dye. So let's go run to spawn, run to the travel agent, get some more cocoa beans, come back, make some more wool, and we're good to go. Well, in getting more cocoa beans, we ran into a jungle temple, which I've never actually seen before, but it looks like it's been looted. But I'm going to grab some of the stuff out of here, including the mossy cobblestone and the iron that they left behind. Hey, look, I don't need that. We're definitely going to grab this mossy cobblestone, though, and may as well grab the iron while we're here, too. So I can always use more iron. Mossy cobblestone. Iron, 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 iron. I knew I saw some. There it is. That's just regular cobblestone with moss on it. That's not mossy cobblestone. Those are big differences. You have regular cobblestone with moss, then you have mossy cobblestone, which apparently are two different things. And there we go. We now have everything upstairs carpeted. Perfect. Go downstairs, we've got our, I probably could have just done carpet on this rather than wool, come to think of it. I could have probably, well, but the thing is I wanted it flush. So yeah, carpet would have put it one up higher, which I did not want. And actually, I wonder, I bet you, hang on, can we do this? Let's find out. Ah, we need a block underneath it. Oh, man. How do I wonder if string would work. If we put some string there, we could... I bet you, yeah, I bet you that's exactly what we could do. We could put some string right there. And we could put the carpet on top of it. Do I have any string just sitting here in my chest somewhere? No. Is there a spider around? Here, spider, spider, spider. Yeah, just when you need one, they're never around, you know? Nary a spider to be seen. Alright, back home. Oh, wait, there's one. Go, go, looting 3 sword. Give me string. String, please. Thank you. Oh, there we go. I can't even get past it. Does that look kind of wonky? Yeah, it looks a little wonky. But that means we don't have to have that extra slab there. We can just have that instead. That'll work. What happens if I get rid of the string? Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. Well, that'll work, I guess. It'll work. Alright, so we're almost done with both the interior and exterior of this particular build here. You notice I've started on the outside a little bit. We've got it roped off with cactus because that's going to be handy. And that's something I'd almost forgotten. So the original Haunted Bookstore, they had this little ant trail they'd painted on the ground that you followed through the Tahonachul Park, and then it led to the Haunted Bookstore. So I'm just going to make it so that the warp actually is going to start you off right here. You're going to follow the Redstone Trail of Adventure. You follow the Redstone Trail, follow the Redstone Trail, follow the Redstone Trail, and it'll just take you to the front door, because I can't go all the way through the park and then come down here. Although that would be kind of fun. You know what? Let's do that. Let's change this up a little bit. Because our park is only going to be about that big, so it's not going to be huge. So let's do this. So we're going to run it out here. This is the entry Ramada to Tahonachul. And I remember so the ant trail would come through here and it would sort of go around and then it would end up at the Haunted Bookstore. So it made you exit through the gift shop, basically. So yeah, I mean, it was a real fun little thing they had, mostly for kids, but we could definitely do that. So let's, how much redstone do I have? Enough? Do I have enough? I think I have enough. So, and we're going to run it through here and sort of around like this. And then around this way. And around that way. Oh, am I out? Out of redstone. Crap. Let's go get some more. I swear, this build has taken me hours because I keep remembering things that were here that I had forgotten about. And then we'll just exit right through there, and there we go. Perfect. So this will go out through the little entry veranda, and we've got to actually... let's see. You know what? Let's worry about that later. Just so many different things I keep remembering about this place. Well, you can even light it up. I forgot about that. So yeah, we got a button that'll light it up for you. It's because reasons. Ooh, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to put... Alright, we're going to put one end rod on top of that and then have the rest of that. But we'll worry about that in a second. Alright, so let's go. So you follow the trail, you go through to Haunted, our miniaturized version of it. And then you come out over here, it takes you past. I'm going to put a book in here for one per visitor. That's really just explaining what this place is and what it's all about and why it's important. And then you're going to go inside, and you've got our desk here. We're going to put a couple of custom heads on this for like monitors and stuff and cash registers. And then down here you've got your regular books, and then over here you'll have like your bargain basement books. And then you go upstairs, which I think actually turned out pretty well, honestly, all things considered. You go upstairs, and you've got the rare books section up here. This is where we'll put things like channeling and loyalty and silk touch and all that stuff. So all that's up there, plus a little table in the corner. I would like to have had a little bit more room for chairs and stuff, but I don't know where exactly. I mean, I suppose I could do something with this area, but I want to leave this mostly open. But then my favorite part of this, if you go downstairs here, and through this little room is the little cubby hole room that I showed you in that picture from earlier. And this came out really, really well. So you've got like the carpet on the floor to simulate pillows, and it's all brown interior, and then you've got sort of the mushroom. I chose the mushroom because it was a different kind of brown, because I basically wanted like 3 different shades of brown in here, because we have the brown wool on the top, we got the brown on there, and then we got the brown walls, because that was the color of everything in that little area. Everything was brown. So we go through there. I'll have to leave that open so people can actually go down there. And then up here, if you notice, there's a little place where you can actually look through. This actually existed. There was a little spot, and this isn't exactly to scale, but there was sort of a little spot where you could climb up a ramp. And so the kids would go down there and read, and when the parents were ready, they'd just come yell down at the kids, hey, it's time to go, and the kids would come out that way and meet you at the front desk. So this actually existed. This was a thing. This actually was a thing. It wasn't exactly like this, but this is as close as I can get to it from what I remember and from the way the place was laid out. So that's the closest I could really get. You idiot. Ips.
Looks like you done made a mistake there, sonny boy.
And that is our patio done. Our interior is effectively done, except for the custom heads that I'm going to look up here in just a second. The upstairs is done. So now what we need to do is finish the park, and that's going to be interesting, because there's a lot of really interesting, cool things that I want to do here. We'll see how it goes. Alright, so be honest, does that look stupid? Because I feel like it is as close as, I mean, if you, okay, so here's normal cactus, which I guess this stuff is supposed to, like, mimic, sort of mimic actual saguaro, kind of. It only grows 3 tall, though, so it's just some random cactus. So this is as close as I can get I think, to an actual, like, live cactus. So yeah, so let me know what you think of that. Does that look like, if for those of you who actually know what a saguaro looks like, does that look like a saguaro? If you saw that, would you think saguaro cactus? I don't know. I don't know if it does or not. I guess we'll find out. And I think we're good. So you come in, follow the redstone trail to adventure, takes you around here. I actually added the glazed terracotta in the middle here just to give you something to do, because this is really, all this is just sort of a park entrance. There's really nothing going on here. There's like a bench off to the side that I don't really have room for, but that's really about it. So you've got this little area here. You come in this way, you come across, you run across this little fountain, basically this little man-made little brook that we're going to have these plants growing alongside of to give it a little bit more depth and detail. Follow it along. Here's the saguaro, which I don't know how I feel about that. I think that's the closest I'm going to be able to get, but by the same token, I'm not entirely happy with it. So, but like I said, let me know what you think in the comments about that. And then we have a little barrel cactus over here. We have a creeper who's dying badly. And then we follow the redstone trail some more. It takes us down here. It takes us to this, which is going to have the explanation book in it that I'm going to make copies of and put in there. And then you walk in and you've got the bookstore itself with the children's books, bargain books, regular books will also be in here. I'm going to take down my shop at a Kodo Mart and we'll put regular books in one of these. And then over upstairs, you've got the rare books section, which is where we'll have all of the super rare stuff, which is going to be up here, and all of these chests with our nice glowstone lighting that goes through the windows, which really was the only way I could do it effectively, but that doesn't look bad, I think. I think I like it. And then if you want to just, get away from everybody, you go down here into the children's area where you can lounge out with your book. And just read. And you can even sit on them. That's really cool. I didn't realize that. Yeah, you can even sit on the carpets down here. So, perfect. Excellent. Very cool. I'm very happy with the way this turned out. I'm not happy with certain elements of it, but I'm very happy with the way it turned out overall. So I think all there is to do now is to go get our rare books, put them down here, get some custom heads up for the different random directions. But other than that, I think we're completely done with this build. And I'm glad to be done with it, but I'm kind of sad to be done with it too, because I know I didn't do it justice. I know I didn't, because I'm certain there's things that I'm forgetting here. I know there's things I'm forgetting, but I couldn't tell you what they are because I've forgotten them. And that makes me a little sad because there's no pictures of this. I have to go completely off memory to try and figure out what this place looked like. But I think I got pretty close. Alright, so I think I've got the visitor's guide completely done here, so let's go ahead and read through this and make sure it makes sense. Greetings, fellow Harmonizer. What you just walked through is a miniaturized replica of Haunted Park, which is a nature preserve found in northern Tucson. Oh my goodness, I butchered the word Tucson, didn't I? C-S-O-N. There we go. It was founded in 1979 and recognized by the city as a historic place in 1985. It is still open today and can be visited and enjoyed in perpetuity by anyone who chooses to visit. What is not open, however, is the building standing in front of you. At the same time of the park's creation, this bookstore, called the Haunted Bookshop, yes, was also opened. While the books it carried were nothing terribly special, the fact it was built out of the original owner's hacienda was unique, as was the area that you will find directly in front of you as you enter. If you go through the gate and down the ladder, you will find a secret room that was specifically designed for children. The creator of this replica of the bookstore spent many an afternoon in that room, and while his memory of the rest of the building is hazy, that place he remembers with crystal clarity. The Haunted Bookshop is gone now, but at least a piece of it will live on as long as the server stays alive. I hope you enjoy it as much as I did both building and remembering it. Huzzah! Meloria thinks it doesn't look stupid. And honestly, I think she's probably one of the best builders on the server, so... Excellent. Well, then, that was the biggest fear I had, was that looked dumb, but that's as close as I'm going to be able to get. Excellent. Well, if she liked it, then I must have done something right. Well, I do hope everyone enjoyed that. Like I said, this is a little bit different kind of episode that I'm not really going out and doing a whole bunch of like wild and crazy things. That'll be a next episode, trust me. I've already got some footage in the can for that one, and it will be a little bit nuts. But I do hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed coming down memory lane with me. It was a lot of fun to build, and it was very nostalgic and kind of tough at times because, like I said, I had to rack my own shoddy memory to try and figure out what the heck went where. So, but if you did grow up in that area and you remember this place, definitely leave a comment down below. I would greatly appreciate it. I make Minecraft content on this channel about 3 to 5 days a week right now. I do play other games, so if you like other games, other types of open world or sandbox games, indie games, up to and including some FPS and first-person shooters and AAA titles, I play those as well. But right now I'm in a Minecraft kind of mood, so we're doing this as well as this series on the MC Harmony server. So I do hope you enjoyed it. Definitely leave a like on the way out the door if you could. It definitely helps out the channel. And if you really liked it, consider subscribing. The more subscribers we have, the more fun we have here. And this is all about having a good time. Also, feel free to join my Discord if you'd like. And also look up the MC Harmony server to join that as well. It's open to join as long as you're not a troll or grief people. We welcome you here. So I hope you had a great time today. I had fun. I hope to see you again soon. Make sure you go out tonight, play some games, have some fun. We'll see you again soon. Thanks a lot, folks. Have a good night.